final race of the regular season here in the Target Series Season 11 heads to the Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia for the running of the Aquafina Last Chance 300. 2 chase spots already in the books. There are 10 left to be determined here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And on the pole, Colin Teague, the 2, needs a good point steer today. 74 points above entering this race, and beside him in second, the 21 of Anthony Hernandez. In third place, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. only comes in 41 points above. Fourth place, Alex Fletcher possibly needs to win here today to advance. And rounding out the top 5, Taylor Brian Price in the 09 car. Starting in 6th place, we have Eric Olson. 7th place, it's Max Anderson. In 8th, we have Mason Baskers. 9th, it's DJ Reed. He comes in 68 above with a win. And rounding out the top 10, the 14 of Casey Nanigo. Back behind the Brett Sear, last season's champion, with no shot to make the chase here this season. To his inside, Jake Goway is going to need to win here today to advance through. Then Roman Fenway, 89, also going to need a win. Eli Bright, the 8, to his outside. Then there's Jose Mills, the 40, comes in just below the cut line, 21 below, but currently has a wild card spot. To his outside, Sebastian Kugelon on the other side of the cut line, 21 points in. Then Levi Schoen's trying to fight for a wild card spot. To his outside, the 77 of Tommy Fletcher Jr. Then we have the 9 of Riley Spurgeon, 2 wins, currently just inside the top 20 in the points. With those 2 victories, he's a wild card spot, only 43 points in. Trey Rainey, last race winner, to his outside. We have the 10 of Danny Lloyd and the 18 of Jennifer Buford, with the 1 of Jay Jefferson, 32 points to the good, and the 17 of Jake Richardson. Then there's Zachary DeLello, pretty safe entering this race, 114 up. Luke Rennie, 88, locked in after last race, to his outside. Then there's Colton Young, the 55 car, and the 38 of Adam McDowell, along with Alex Turner in the 05 and the 60 of Michael Gregory. Then there's Landon Lyons, practically locked, 144 points to the good entering this race. You can only gain 148 in a single race. Matthew Swell's 16, same story there, 127 to the good, down to his inside. Then we have Evan Hunter, the 64, and the 33, Sebastian Dupain, fighting for that wildcard spot. Landon Dinkins in car number 6, and the 42, Bronson Minnick, also locked in. Then we have Madison Tall and John Smith, 04. Justin Seidel and Cobra, another wildcard hopeful. And rounding out the field in the final row, Keith Shaw Merchant in the 11 and the number 5 car of Jeff Bright. And once again, joined in the booth by Trey. And Trey, this is a very unique chase battle that we have here. Wildcard spots up for grabs with many drivers with victories. And you have drivers that are pretty safe entering today and drivers that are just on the cut line. How do you think these drivers are going to attack this race with a very, very crazy racetrack being the final race of the regular season?
Well, like you said, this is a really close battle here to make it into the chase, and no better track than to do it here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. This track is a pretty fast-paced track. These drivers are pretty much wide open the entire way around, and it's almost like a super speedway with the way these guys race as it's pretty much just a shuffle fest the entire time. So you never know who's going to be out front whenever a caution happens or when we come down to the end of this race. It's really anyone's game here.
And that's what's going to make this battle so exciting. It's going to be changing lap after lap. You're not going to know who's probably going to advance until we get to that final lap and down to the checkered flag. The Aquafina Last Chance 300, the final race of the regular season, about to be underway. Let's go down trackside and fire these engines up for the final race of the regular season.
Drivers, start your engine!
42 cars are rolling here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the final regular season race of Target Series Season 11, and the chase picture all over the place, especially when we get to that wild card spot, with many drivers very close together in terms of that spot. Jose Mills holds the 2nd spot to get in on a win with the wild card. However, he's only 2 points up on Code Red, 9 points up on Sebastian Dupain, and only 23 points up on Levi Schoen. It's very close for that spot. And oh, by the way, Riley Spurgeon only 43 points to the good to stay above the top 20. We'll see who makes their way into the chase with this Aquafina Last Chance 330 laps in Atlanta. We're Green Flag Racing in race number 18.
Already here coming off of turn 2, the 2 of Teague cleared himself, but Fitzwater in the 59 there is not going to let him lead for very long. He's going to get to the inside, but the 2 just shut the door on Fitzwater, which is going to put Fitzwater 3 wide with the 09 of Taylor Brian Price down to the bottom there.
And every lap these drivers can lead, very, very beneficial. As Colin Teague leads the first lap, that is 5 bonus points for leading the lap. The next 5 bonus points you get is for leading the most laps. So Teague wants to accomplish this to extend his gap over 11th in points. To the inside, Max Anderson, only 39 points below 10th in the points standings. So he has a shot as well. He's racing up to 2nd down the back. Colin Teague, the 2, though, continues to lead out in front. Here comes DJ Reed, our Michigan winner, looking for a 2nd. Comes in 68 points to the good with the victory, so he could try and fall back on that if he tries to claim a wildcard spot. Behind them, some wildcard hopefuls. hopefuls coming forward, like Jose Mills and Levi Jones. They battle side by side. Jones to the inside of Mills, trying to shuffle that 40 away. And if Mills falls back and can't get back up to the front, then this wildcard picture is just blown wide open as it's still Teague leading off turn 2. Reed now with a run down to the inside. Mills is spun already. The 40 to the inside wall early on. He'll impact it. He'll get going, but we have no yellow flag. We're still green. And now to shake up the chase picture drastically, Mills, one of our wildcard hopefuls, now at the back of the field out of the draft with no yellow flag.
Yeah, I'm not sure why there wasn't a yellow on that. Maybe the officials there were thinking that he was off the track and he was the only one involved, so he was out of the way already. But a very interesting decision here, as we can see all those smoke on the backstretch there. That's actually pretty decent there. So these drivers look like they got through it fine. But at the moment here, the 00, Sebastian Kukulon is now taking the lead, followed by the 89 of Roman Fenway.
And Kukulon on the cut line, 10th in points entering this day, so a lap lead would be big for his chase chances. But Fenway fights to the inside, the 89. Who led the lap? It was very close, and they give it to Kukulon. 5 bonus points there to drive the 00. Now Max Anderson inside trying to cancel out those 5 bonus points. And here comes Colin Teague back to the front already in the 2 car, fighting down to the inside of Pulsar, trying to get back out front. Because see what that spin did, kind of split the pack a little. Some drivers checked out that were behind it. A few got away, about half the field did get away. Then the second half of the field now getting single flag. See right here, Trey Rainey, Adam McDowell, Evan Hunter, they're getting single file. They know what to do here. They can run them down with how big the draft is. See how fast they're going down the straightaways? Pretty similar pace right there. So we'll see if they can try and latch on. But now they get side by side. It's going to slow them down. So at this moment, the second half of the pack, trying everything they can to fight up and get latched onto the first 21 cars.
Yeah, but it looks like they're making decent pace on this first pack here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, or if they do catch them. So I think these guys are still going to be in competition here. I don't think they have that much to worry about, considering that accidentally happened about 3 laps into the race. So I think they got plenty of time to get back up to the front here.
You can see they were 4/10 faster than Casey Nacko, last car in this main pack last time by. McDowell leading the first pack was 4/10 faster. Evan Hunter, same story there in the 64. So these drivers definitely running them down. Here comes 2 Roush cars trying to get to the front. Jeff Brightstar last in this race, starting to work forward. Trey Rainier, last race winner, also back here. But they have caught a good bit on this front pack as they're racing 2 by 2 at the front, shuffling each other out of the way. DJ Reed now leads, but Eric Olson to the inside. Now 3 wide to the bottom goes the 77 of Tommy Fletcher Jr. 41 Alex Fletcher just behind him. Here comes Levi Jones and Mathis Wells as well. So Wells missing that accident right there really helps him towards his chase chances. Obviously, I think even if he were to finish below 35th, he would still make it, and he has a very, very great shot. Basically, finishing worse than 35th. The only way he wouldn't make it is if the world imploded at this point. But he's up now to 3rd and trying to take no risks and get up to the front lead lap for 5 bonus points as we're now 8 laps into this 30-lap event. Levi Jones leads the turn 1 looking for a wildcard spot to make it into the postseason.
Yeah, as Levi continues to lead here. At the beginning of the season, he was actually one of the guys who looked like he'd be one of the more prominent drivers here this season. He was doing really well, even led the points. He had a couple of races here, but now he's just doing his best to scratch his way into the chase. So it's crazy to think how these situations come about and how fast your season can flip. But as we see here, the 48 last season's champ Brett Sierra is trying to lead a couple laps here at Atlanta Motor Speedway, but the 21's not going to allow that very long as he dives to the bottom there, Brett.
And you talk about how fast something can flip. Brett Sierra, last season's champion, enters this race without a single shot to make it into the postseason. Back behind them, we had 1 car shoot down to the inside. Taylor Brian Price, he spins around. He'll come back up above the yellow line. We'll see if they call yellow for this. They still don't. We are still green here. We've had 2 cars. This 09 stuck here, though. It'll be interesting to see if there's any regard for a yellow flag. They're now 4 wide in the main pack. Entering the corner. There it is. Fenway round. Mathis Wells involved as well. The 16. Anyone others of our chase guitars. Code Red hits off the 77. But this will definitely bring it out here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Our 3rd accident, but our first yellow flag of the day. Hernandez trying to get back around in front. And it looks like Roman Fenway's chase bid is done. And Mathis Wells, fortunate to escape that, still rolling. Hernandez back around front, the 21. Jay Jefferson, one of our chase hopefuls right now in 2nd. Levi Jones, Danny Lloyd, and Sebastian Kukulon are the front 5. Craziness here in the first 12 laps of the Aquafina Last Chance 300. Roman Fenway's trying to drive away. Jose Mills, see there, he's trying to gain spots. Taylor Brian Price is done. There's the answer to the 16 of Mathis Wells. It's our first caution flag here at Atlanta. Let's go see what caused it. Racing off into turn number 1, this is where we see most of the accidents happen here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway over the past, as they get 4 wide, exiting the quad oval, entering turn number 1. Baskers and the 89 Fenway get together. They get up into the wall. Alex Fletcher, Mathis Wells, and Tommy Fletcher Jr. also get some contact. Big story here is Mathis Wells need to finish 31st or better if everything went against him. He might finish below 35th with all this damage. However, I believe he is still safe enough, especially with those 2 victories. Even if he falls outside the top 10, which is a very, very slim chance, he would still probably fall back on a wild card spot in that 16. It's not too much to really it's not the end of the world for the 16 of Wells after this happened. But some drivers who did a great job, Code Red and Riley Spurgeon, who barely missed this crash. We'll see again from another angle. Watch the 9 just in front of the crash in the 29 Code Red.
Yeah, just like you said, a normal 4-wide situation there. The 19 looks like, more like the 89 pinched up onto the 19 there, and that's what turned him. Is the Code Red was just flying into there and hit the side of the 77. That could have been a lot bigger than what it was there, but luckily those drivers escaped, and very few drivers were involved with this, and it looks like the one that got the most damage was the 16 of Wells, but it looks like he'll be able to continue.
And right now, the 21 Anthony leads this race. No chase hopes on the line for him, just going out for a victory. Anthony currently leads at the Atlanta Motor Speedway in the final race of the regular season. Coming back green here at the midway point, the Aquafina Last Chance 300. So we're down to the final 15 laps of the regular season, 15 laps to determine who advances through into the final 9 races of the season. Taylor Bryan Price out from his single car accident down the backstretch. We still have 41 cars running. Jose Mills came in 11th in points in the first wildcard spot. Right now down 40th position, not good enough for him. Mathis Wells right now 39th, still in a good position to make it in even after that crash. And for Fenway and Fletcher needed to win here today, their chances likely over due to that accident. Still a good amount of cars running. 21 Anthony leads this race with Jay Jefferson, Levi Jones, Daniel and Kukulon in tow as we're back racing here at Atlanta.
The 21 of Hernandez got a very good jump on that restart there. He's already about 2 car lengths out in front of the one of Jay Jefferson there, but it looks like the 22 of Levi Jones is going to dive to the inside of Jay Jefferson and try to make a move, but Jefferson's going to get back out in front of there with Casey Nanico, and the 14 follows them suit to the bottom as well as the 19, but the 19's now going to, or that's the 9, my apologies there. Riley Spurley is going to dive to the bottom.
Riley Spurgeon trying to make it into the chase, trying to stay top 20 in points. Levi Jones also trying to do the same with the wild card spot. Moving on, Jay Jefferson for a second. Spurgeon got a little tight down low there. Nanico's wound up on the top side. See if he can clear Spurgeon down the back. But Riley using that inside very, very well to keep it down beneath door to door down the back to turn 3. Now we'll see if second and third, Jones and Jefferson can run the 21 of Hernandez down to try and make a move for this race victory. Brett Sierra inside the 48 looking for a W. Hasn't won in this series since Michigan last season. That was one of the first races of last season. Looking now to try and win his second ever Target Series race, the champion of last season. DeLello goes 3 wide to the bottom of the 24, currently in the chase as we run for the lead. Jones out of line, and Jefferson takes that momentum down to the inside, but it's going to pull the 22 back, and Hernandez keeps the lead. Jefferson back up to second. Now Jones back to third. Here comes DeLello, Teague, and others trying to gain on the front 3.
Yeah, it looked like when Jefferson had that run coming onto the backstretch, he could have went to the inside of the 22 there, but he more side drafted him, which brought the 22 back some and allowed the 21 to go actually out ahead. So maybe he was just trying to pick him off one by one here. Not quite sure what he was thinking, but he did work, so he got him up to second place. So we'll have to see what he's thinking from this point on.
And now Jones to the inside. He wants that second position back. I think that 22 is faster than the 1, but it's going to be a no point when the 24 DeLello passed them both. Here comes DeLello to the inside. Enter this race 5th in points, 114 points up over the cut line, in a very good position to make the chase, and it's just proving to be a very, very good day for DeLello. He's right now out to second position behind the 21 of Hernandez. Here comes Teague, the pole's here down to his inside. All this is doing, though, is allowing the 21 of Hernandez to keep the race lead, trying to hold on and win here in Atlanta, even though it wouldn't be a chase victory for him. It wouldn't be anything to make him into the chase. He has no shot entering this race. Still a lot of confidence for that 21 team if they can win here today.
Yeah, well, that 21 team is loving seeing this right behind them. The 2 of Teague going below the 24 there. As you said, as these guys become more racy and are 2 side by side there, it's just going to slow them up and allow that 21 to pull away ever so slightly, even more and more each lap. But now here, the 2 is actually single file now, so he might be able to catch up to the 21 there and give him a shot at the pole here.
And here comes the 25 Eric Olson moving up to third here, and just behind him Levi Jones. Is this run good enough to get him into a wild card spot? We know Mills right now will see an update at the 40. If he's slower at all, the 40 right now is back. It looks like he's actually made up some ground here through the field up to 31st, trying to maintain. But with Jones running this well, he would definitely leapfrog him. But where are the other wildcard contenders running, like Code Red, like Sebastian Dupain? Are they close enough to keep this 22 at bay. So we have a battle for the lead. Teague, the poster, moves to the inside, gets by in turns 1 and 2. Teague now out in front here in the Aquafina Last Chance 300. But Eric Olsen now immediately looks to the bottom of the 25. They'll be door to door. Here comes the 38 at McDowell. Back-to-back, two-time Target Series champion, moving to the inside. Here comes Brett Sierra, DJ Reed, and Zachary Fitzwater Sr. with him. Fitzwater not safe entering this race, but doing a great job up inside the top 10, trying to bust his way through into the chase in these final 9 races. He's 41 points up entering the day in a top 10 run right now. Definitely helps him make it in with 7 laps of racing to go.
Yeah, at this point in the race, the drivers that are pretty close to that cutoff line there are doing whatever they can to get as many positions as they can to get those points, those valuable points. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see some drastic measures being taken here, some daring moves or whatever you can do to try to do your best to secure yourself into the chase.
Brett Sierra moving low for a second. Where he finished last season in this race was the 2nd position. He followed Evan Hunter home to the victory. We'll see if Sierra can try and get a victory of his own here this season at Atlanta. Quickly to the inside goes DJ Reed in the 99 car. As some other chase hopefuls will look back here. Jay Jefferson doing what he needs to do in the 1 car. See Teague doing what he needs to do as well. These drivers up at the front. Fitzwater, same story there in the 59 car. We look further back. Where has Riley Spurtube in the 9 fallen? He's back now outside the top 20. Fading back, Colton Yo, who came in 21st in points just in front of him in that 55. And where is Madison Tall? She came in just below Spurley, 20th in points. Tall right now ahead of him as well. So if you're Riley Spurley, it's not game over, but you have to be feeling a little bit uncomfortable with how you're running right now. You're falling back, and how those drivers that are nearing points are running. They're running decently, but they're running in front of you. That's the thing. You have to be sure that you don't fade in these final 4 laps. Tall right now up inside the top 15 as Colton Yo's now trying to get inside the top 20, and Riley Spurgeon now back outside the top 30, back to 31st. This could be very close for Riley Spurgeon here in these final 4 laps.
As you can see, they're almost 4 wide. I believe that the 05 just hit the wall there, coming off at 2. Oh, there goes Keyshawn down to the inside. Hard hit for the 11, but it looks like they're going to continue going there. A very close call for those 2 drivers right there, but luckily it did not cause any cautions or anything. But as we continue back up to the front here, it's still the 25 of Eric Olsen leading this race.
And with 3 laps to go, yellow flag would end this race early. So if we get a yellow flag, this race is official. As the tires start to wear out, these drivers start to push up the racetrack. It's getting a little bit harder to handle out here on the racetrack. Colin Teague trying to get by the 25 of Eric Olsen. Right now, Teague has run. He is in the chase, coming around to 2 laps to go unless something major happens to that 2 car. Danny Lloyd, Jay Jefferson, Levi Jones is not comfortable yet. He wants every point, every position he can get to try and make it in. With now 2 laps of racing to go, the front 2 are close though. Teague on the back doorstep of Eric Olsen and peeking to the inside as they come off turn number 2. Does this open the door for Danny Lloyd in the 10 with the run? If they get side by side, slow each other down, Lloyd might have a shot here. Coming around to the white flag here in the Aquafina Last Chance 300. Olsen keeps the lead, but Teague is right there, looking to pounce in this final mile and a half.
If Teague's going to make a move here for this win, it's going to be up to going onto that backstretch there where you can get that run coming off of 2 there. So we'll have to see if he's able to dive to the inside here. I don't think the 10 of Danny Lloyd is going to have enough time to get up there, but we'll have to see what the 2 does here as he's peaking low at the moment coming off of 2.
Final lap here at Atlanta. Teague again with the run to the inside. Yesterday in the Truck Series race, we saw a side-by-side run to the checker flag. What's going to happen here today? Teague the pulser to the bottom of the 25 of Eric Olsen. He slides up trying to take the 25's line away. He'll clear him off turn number 4. Colin Teague is going to win the Aquafina Last Chance 300. He's into the Target Series Season 11 chase. But how are the other chase hopefuls doing? Colton Yo ends it out inside the top 20 in the 55 car. Madison Tall, the 47, ends out in 21st. Where was Riley Spurleytube in all this? Riley Spurleytube ends up 35th in the 9 car. That's going to be very, very close. Now this opens the door for those drivers with 1 victories. If Riley falls out, the drivers with 1 victory could try and bump their way up like Code Red, Special DuPaint, Levi Jones. This is not over for a lot of these drivers yet, as we're now going to go look at the finishing results and then go see the 12-man chase field for the Target Series Season 11 chase. Here are the finishing results from the final regular season race, the Aquafina Last Chance 300 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Only 1 caution flag in this race. That was for 4 laps early on. And 11 lead changes, 8 different drivers saw the lead today at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And out front at the end, passing on the last lap, Colin Teague gets victory from pole position Teague into the chase with that victory here today, his first of the season. Eric Olsen ends up in second, leading 8 laps, was leading at the white flag, but could not lead back to the checker flag. Danny Lloyd ends up in third. Levi Schoens, is that enough to get him up into the chase? He gets fourth. And Zachary Fitzwater Sr. did what he needed to do. He gets 5th place. He's into the chase. Anthony Nez led the most laps at 12, but ends up fading in 6th. Jay Jefferson, 7th place. That locks him into the postseason. Zachary DeLello, same story there, in 8th. Max Anderson in 9th. Is that enough to try and bump his way up? He entered the day third, 9 points below the top 10. And Jeff Bright, the 5, he rounds out the top 10 finishers, starting back in the 42nd position. Last season's champion Brett Sierra gets 11th, and McDowell, 2-time Target Series champion, gets 12th. Nanico, Reed, and Minnick round out the top 15. DJ Reed did what he needed to do with the 14th place. He's locked his way in. How about Jake Richardson in 16th? Colton Yo, did that knock Riley Sprotube out with a top 20 for him? Landon Dinkins, Jennifer Buford, and Jake Galloway, they round out the top 20 finishers. And you look down, Madison Tall, did that bump Riley Sprotube with a 21st? Trey Rennie and Luke Rennie, 22nd, 23rd. Sebastian Kukulan, can he try and maintain that top 10 position? Came in 10th in points, but with a 24th. That's going to be very close for him. And Eli Bright, 25th. Michael Gregory gets 26th. Code Red, Sebastian Dupain, 2 wildcard hopefuls, 27th, 28th. Is that enough for them? Justin Zidell, Jose Mills, did he hang on to a wildcard spot? How about Evan Hunter, Landon Lyons, Tommy Fletcher Jr.? They have John Smith, Riley Sprotube. Is that enough to maintain inside the top 20? Mason Baskers, Alex Turner, Alex Fletcher, Roman Fenway, there's Matt Wells, he gets 40th. Keyshawn Richardson, 1 lap down and out of the race for Taylor Ryan Price in the 09. Let's now go see the 12-man chase for the final 9 Target Series races of Season 11. And as you can see on the screen, 12 drivers in the top 10 in points, 2 winners from 11th to 20th in points, and this chase picture got shaken up in the final laps of the Aquafina Last Chance 300. Luke Rennie, the 88, maintains. He was locked in, maintains that points lead. Minnick, same story, maintains in second. Zachary DeLello did a great job. Now moves up to third in points. Colin Teague with the win. And Landon Lyons, they are the top 5. They have Fitzwater, Reed, Jefferson, Wells, and Schoens bumps his way up inside the top 10 with a great result here today. Got every point he needed and was 17 points ahead of Max Anderson, who was 17 points short of making it into the postseason. So once again, the front 10, the top 10 in points that made in: Luke Rennie, Bronson Minnick, Zachary DeLello, Colin Teague, Landon Lyons, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., DJ Reed, Jay Jefferson, Mathis Wells, and Levi Schoens. That's a lot of big names in that top 10, but then we still have 2 more spots up for grabs. Those are the 2 wildcard spots. And unfortunately for Riley Sprotube, he did not hang on. He was so very close, but the 2 drivers that made it in based off of wildcard spots, Code Red and Jose Mills. And how close were the 3 winners that are down there? Red, Mills, Dupain. Red was only 7 ahead of Mills, who was only 3 ahead of Dupain. They were separated by 10 points right there. So if any 10-point swing happened in either direction, we could be seeing completely different drivers in this wildcard spot. Dupain only 3 points from Jose Mills. So if Mills finished 1 spot lower in this race, Dupain would be in. If Dupain finished 1 spot higher, he would be in. That is how close it was for that wildcard spot. Think about Code Red. If he finished a few spots lower, he would be out, and Mills and Dupain would both be in. That's how close it was, and how close it was for Riley Sprotube, who faded down to 22nd in points, but was only 11 points behind the top 20. He needed 11 points at some point, and they obviously came in that final run of this race where he faded back to 35th finishing position. If he got a top 30, that would have been more than enough. If he got a top 31, 32, that probably would have been enough. But unfortunately for Riley Sprotube, he misses out by 11 points. So how close it was. The top 10 came down to 17 points. Wildcard came down to a swing of 10 points. And the top 20 came down to 11 points. Very, very close there for all drivers involved in this chase picture. As we look down at the rest of these drivers, that are now just going to be going for wins down here. A lot of big names down here like Eli Bright, Brett Sierra, Jeff Bright, Michael Gregory, Danny Lloyd. Obviously, Trey Rainey looking for another win in his final season. A lot of big names down here looking for wins to go out in these final 9 races of the season. The chase will start at the Pocono Raceway for the Gertrude Hawk 225. We will see you guys then.